Following presentation focuses on linking awareness and likely achievement of the Millennium Development Goals or MDGs. Evidence from 46 countries is examined and implications for MDG advocacy are provided. This study was undertaken by Peter Rankin and Elkana Ngwenya from the National Centre for Marine Conservation and Resource Sustainability, a faculty of the Australian Maritime College. I will now take you through an outline of the presentation. To set the context of the current study, an introduction to the MDGs is provided. The methods of data analysis are described and the results are presented in regards to awareness, likely achievement, Human Development Index or HDI, and Gross Domestic Product Index or GDPI. The results are then discussed, recommendations are provided, and the presentation finishes with a conclusion. The Millennium Development Goals or MDGs were formulated in the year 2000 at the Millennium Summit. The MDGs consist of 8 main goals that incorporate 21 targets and 48 indicators deemed key for realizing global human development. The MDGs were signed by a landmark 189 heads of state or government, and the deadline for achieving the MDGs is set as the year 2015. Proposed unique within development circles for setting measurable targets and making more developed countries accountable, the MDGs have been considered the forefront issue of contemporary international development. This has led to the MDGs receiving both criticism and praise in the academic literature, ranging from the goals being inadequate or unrealistic to propositioning the MDGs as a crucial step for human development, no matter the shortcomings. I now focus on why examining public awareness of MDGs is important. Put simply, if the public are unaware of an issue, public commitment for resolving that issue is distant. In context of the MDGs, if the public are unaware of the MDGs, the public will not strive for or desire for achieving the MDGs. In the same way, the public would be reluctant to follow quarantine or safety procedures without knowing of associated consequences. This is particularly important as there is a level of onus on developed countries to assist less developed countries achieve the MDGs. If the public in more developed countries are unaware of the MDGs, they will be less likely to increase funding, provide development assistance, or lobby political parties, as they have no direct reason for doing so. Similar to buying a birthday cake for someone without knowing it's their birthday, or reducing poverty with plastic. Additionally, public cooperation is a requisite in all countries to best implement development strategies throughout all levels of social organization. On top of this, linking likely achievement can empirically evaluate the effectiveness of advocacy. An important consideration given efforts for increasing MDG achievement have included campaigns aimed at increasing public awareness. It is within this context the following study appraises MDG awareness and achievement alongside HDI and GDPI in 46 countries to provide relevant recommendations for improving MDG outcomes. The methods of data analysis are now presented. Public awareness was obtained for the 46 countries from the World Values Surveys years 2005 to 2007, and GDPI and HDI for the year 2007 were obtained from the United Nations Development Programme database. Likely achievement was determined from MDG monitor data using a system of an increase or decrease from a start to an end year value relevant to each MDG indicator to quantify likely achievement or failure of an MDG indicator. Also, although there are only 48 indicators, 66 or 67 indicators depending on country characteristics were assessed. This occurred as indicators can be broken down into separate components, and this is a method of analysis proposed in the official list of the MDGs. However, the MDG data was limited and resulted in variation in start and end year values, prevented statistical analysis, and limited the number of indicators which could be assessed. This data limitation is a shortcoming of the current study, but is unavoidable given the complexity of collecting global data. I now turn to the results. Regarding awareness, the results show 26, or the majority of countries examined, are at or below 20% awareness, with the United States of America the lowest at only 4.8%. 17 countries have public awareness above 20 but below 40%, and only 3 countries have awareness over 40%, with Ethiopia the most aware country at 65.9%. The key finding here is that awareness is sufficiently low in the majority of countries examined. To determine if public awareness influenced likely achievement of MDG indicators, awareness was plotted against likely achievement. When public awareness is plotted against likely achievement of MDG indicators, a significant positive linear relationship is observed, indicating that as public awareness increases, so too does the number of MDG indicators likely to be achieved. Thus, public awareness has a positive effect on the likely achievement of MDG indicators. When public awareness is plotted against HDI and GDPI, significant negative linear relationships occur, indicating that as HDI and GDPI increase, public awareness decreases, or the public in more developed countries are less aware of the MDGs. To further examine the influence of HDI and GDPI, likely achievement of MDG indicators is plotted against HDI and GDPI. When likely achievement of MDG indicators is plotted against HDI and GDPI, significant negative linear relationships occur, indicating that as HDI and GDPI increase, the number of MDG indicators likely to be achieved decreases, signifying more developed countries are, in conjunction with being less aware, likely achieving fewer MDG indicators than their less developed counterparts. The implications of these results are now discussed. The general paucity of public awareness, with the majority of countries below 20% and only one country above 50%, indicates that the MDGs are not a key concern to the public in the majority of countries examined. It appears essential this deficiency in MDG awareness is addressed. Also, to increase likely achievement of MDG indicators, and so it can be qualified that by increasing public awareness can help improve achievement of the MDG indicators. This further emphasizes the need for improving public awareness of the MDGs. Additionally, as more developed countries are less aware and have a lower likely achievement of MDG indicators, it implies countries with greater fiscal resources can be less likely to achieve MDG indicators when there is a lack of public awareness. This deduction is reasonable to suggest, as it seems impractical that more resources make it harder to achieve or have access to mediums promoting the MDGs. The overall trend these results suggest is that public awareness is an imperative for the MDG agenda to address. As such, the following recommendations are put forth for improving achievement of the MDGs. First and foremost, reputable MDG advocacy groups must be set up within each country. These advocacy groups should actively provide information on the MDGs whilst incorporating options for public involvement to encourage active public participation in MDG initiatives. However, this advocacy cannot stand alone and so should complement other mechanisms for augmenting MDG achievement, such as implementing country-specific development and governance that allows countries to best incorporate MDG policies within their national context. Also, the current study was limited due to significant gaps in MDG data. This limitation presents a major hurdle, as without a solid foundation of data, achievement of the MDGs can go unqualified, no matter how much progress is made. Therefore, improved data collection is another requisite for advancing the MDG agenda. In conclusion, the present study demonstrated that public awareness of the MDGs is very low in the majority of the 46 countries examined. Increasing public awareness improves likely achievement of MDG indicators, and more developed countries are less aware of the MDGs and likely to achieve fewer MDG indicators. Given these findings, the current study recommends reputable advocacy groups are set up in each country to augment other mechanisms for improving achievement of the MDGs, alongside incorporating enhanced data collection. The advocacy is essential as public mindsets must be shifted towards improving livelihoods globally. Only with strong public support will equitable development and the MDGs be within reach. Thank you for listening. Please address any questions or comments to the details provided. For more information on the Millennium Development Goals, visit www.un.org/Millennium Goals. The authors wish to acknowledge the National Centre for Marine Conservation and Resource Sustainability of the Australian Maritime College for supporting this project. For more information on the work of the National Centre for Marine Conservation and Resource Sustainability, head to www.amc.edu.au. The Australian Maritime College and National Centre for Marine Conservation and Resource Sustainability are located in Launceston, Tasmania. Once again, thank you for your time.